What up, everybody? Can you hear me? Hopefully, doesn't sound like S. You can let me know if it sounds good and if it sounds okay. I'm still getting used to all this live stuff, so I'm not really sure. Okay. Oop, oh, I forgot I gotta do that. Okay, got it. Okay. Can y'all hear me okay? Okay, cool. That's all I needed to know. Trying to adjust this and get this going. Then we can read some stories. What's going on, guys? How's your night going? Good, great, awesome, superb, spectacular. Yo, Michael, thank you. Appreciate that, man. AJ, how you doing? Megan, Harley, Dad, Y. What's going on, everybody? Let me get these stories locked and loaded so I'm not looking for them like I was that last time. It took me forever. Oh, yeah. Story time. It's going good. I just got done hanging out with a couple of buddies, and then I'm like, you know what? I need to record some stories, but I'm gonna do it live for a little bit and see how this goes. Since I tried it the other day during the day at a random hour and it went pretty well, so why not try at night when more people are a lot more active? Let's see here. Practice makes good enough. Yep, good enough for who it's for. That's what I like to say. Good enough for who it's for. I'm trying to be like Joel and Let's Read and try to get this into a normal rotation where I start killing two birds with one stone and getting to talk with you guys and recording stories at the same time. It sounds okay though. I don't need to get closer to the mic. It doesn't need to be louder. It sounds, I'm not blowing your eardrums out, or you don't sound like I'm doing ASMR whispering to you either. Why I am currently using a Shure SM7 butthole. Pretty good mic. But I've had to tweak the settings and mess with it because I'm not really sure how to do it. I don't do this live stuff very often, so yeah, I've had to mess around with it and try to find the right settings or whatever you want to call it. Okay. So, run through. Yeah, I kind of figured most, if not all, I guess not all, but most listeners are always listening at night. So, it's kind of the best time to do it. I'm sure, I think, what is today? Thursday. So, I'm sure Joel will be like doing a live stream sometime soon too. I think he does it on Tuesday Tuesday, Thursday, something like that. I don't know. Something like that. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know how many stories I'll end up reading, but we can definitely do a couple of them. Can hear the rain too. I got some rain going, but I wasn't sure if you guys can hear that or not. I don't know if that setting is working too. Hopefully it is, at least a little bit. I don't want it to like be like overpowering my voice, but yeah. You ever just get like a pimple or a bump on your arm and you just can't stop messing with it? Because that's what I keep doing. I can't stop messing with it. Okay, sorry. ADD is strong. All right, so I got a driving at night story. Got a, looks like a Home Alone story. Mountains of Central Idaho story. And another Home Alone type story. Which one do y'all want to hear? Yeah, Joel is a badass. He's kind of that top tier dude that everybody looks up to, myself included. Ooh. Colorado Springs, nice. When I was in the Army, I was stationed in Colorado Springs. I definitely missed that place. It's beautiful. Definitely a nice place. I definitely miss living there. Turn that off. That's going to get annoying. Okay. Whoa, Asa with the 2. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Definitely don't feel obligated to do anything like that, you know. But if you do, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm just being, you know, dumb, getting on here, playing around, read some stories. But yeah, for real, thank you, Asa. That's very kind. Very kind. All right. Y'all ready for this? It's titled She's Got a Effing Dog. Get my recording stuff up. All of them, yeah. Yeah. We'll see. If this first couple go good, I might just continue and do it for a little while. I did it the other day and it worked out pretty well, so. Let me get this file going. July 2nd. 1. Okay. I was in the military for 4 years, 2011 till 2015. And that was enough. I'm done with this. I'm going home. Pretty tired now. I think I'll go home. All right. Let me get this up and at 'em. If I can minimize this, that would be great. Good Lord. I feel like an old man. I'm going to exit out of that so I don't see that anymore. Put that over yonder. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mama B. I appreciate y'all too. Thanks for coming and chilling with me. All right, I'll get this going so you guys can stop listening to me ramble. Hang on. Let me turn my audio a bit up, a little bit, and then tell me if that's better or if I'm blowing your eardrums off yet. Is that better? Yay, nay, no. Yes, no. Come on, baby, let's go. Okay. All right, Peter. All right. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Again, this story is titled She Got an Effing Dog from... Well, I'm not going to say that. This happened about 2 weeks ago after I bought my first home in December of 2018. I was 22, and this was the first time that I'd ever lived alone. Whoa, boy. I was 22, and this was the first time that I'd ever lived alone. About 9 to 10 days after moving in, I adopted a dog my sister and mom saw at the local shelter. Her abused breeding male cocker. Cocker. I don't know why that got me. Matted hair down his spine and everywhere else. 12 pounds underweight and wormy. I named him Jack, and he's still sleeping next to me today as I type this out. I bought a house that wasn't in the best neighborhood, but it backed up to elementary schools. What the? The house I bought wasn't really in the best neighborhood, but it backed up to an elementary school playground and cameras faced my backyard. It was a day or two before Christmas, so my office was closed and I was at home. The way my home was set up, to the right of the fridge was a window looking out to my front porch, with my front door at a 90 from the window. This is where my kitchen table was. If you were in the middle of the kitchen and looked left, there was a second living room and a side door with a half window. It was the only window that hadn't installed blinds on. You could not see the kitchen table from the side door. So I'm sitting at the table, looking through the mail or something, and a shadow passes over my papers in front of me. The blinds were closed, but if you could see on my front porch, you were very close to the window, and your body would create a shadow. I don't know why, but I started to feel uneasy. No one should be out there. So I dropped off my school. What the? Okay. So I dropped off my school to the. I can't talk. So I dropped off my stool to the ground and kind of peeked at the crack in the blinds. There were 2 men outside that I didn't know on my front porch. One was wearing a really big white t-shirt and jeans, but I never saw his face because he was facing the front door. The other was wearing a red baseball cap and a really, really baggy red shirt. Honestly, at first, I thought they may have a legit reason to be there. I already had one guy looking for his dog. But I hear one guy say, "Go around, man." The red shirt guy walks away, and I lose sight of him. I leaned to my left and saw the red shirt come up to my side door now. All right, this is scary. Then suddenly, they both start slamming their hands into the front of my front door and my side door at the same time, just pounding so hard that my tiny little house began shaking. That's when this sweet little underweight Cocker Spaniel that I hadn't even had for a week loses his ever-loving mind, starts baring teeth and runs directly at the side door because he can see that guy. Just the loudest barking I've ever heard from him to date. The red shirt yells, "Holy shit, she got a fucking dog," and tears off running. Big man followed behind. I was so grateful to Jack. If he hadn't been there for those guys, they definitely would have made it in. It was a little old house built in '55 and still had single pane windows. I never filed a report with the police because I never heard anything back regarding those men, which was okay because to my knowledge, they never came back, and I ended up moving away 5 years later. Jack definitely saved me oh boy. Jack definitely saved me from something bad that day, and he's been treated like a prince ever since. And honestly, he's the gentlest dog I've ever met. Even Buck's the traditional Cocker Spaniel, not liking children idea. But I think he knew that I was his person from day one, and nobody was going to mess with his human. So white and red shirt dude, let's not meet, because Jack is still here, and he'll tear your ass up. Oh. Yeah. I don't know why. When that first part of the story, when she said breeding male cocker, it got me. I'm a man child, so stupid stuff like that's gonna make me laugh. It just is what it is at this point. You know, you'll have that. You'll have that on these big jobs. Whoop, where did it go? Okay, there it goes. Is my voice too booming now? Should I turn it down? Is it okay? Am I blowing your eardrums off yet? I don't know if when I'm doing my story, I definitely project a little bit more, and I don't want to annoy anybody with that. Whoa, Megan, with the 2. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'll take that $2 and put it into my Buy a Cocker fund. Whoa, Megan with that 5. Jeez. You're spoiling me here. Love your channel. Keep up the great work. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Means a lot. Means a lot to me. Okay, cool. Perfect volume. Perfect volume. Yes, yes. That's what we want, right? Perfect volume. Take this off me because it keeps beeping and driving me nuts. So, all right. Another one bites the dust, shall we? There's another Home Alone type-ish one, so I guess I'll do that one too. Oof. Whoa, Lil Miss with the $1.49. Thank you. Again, thank you. Don't feel obligated to give me monies. You don't have to do any of that. I promise. Just want to chill and hang out with you guys. But any donations or whatever you want to call them, I appreciate it. Thank you. If I rewrite my story a little less drunken, were you drunken when you wrote that? It's been a while, so I don't, honest to God, it's sorry. I don't take it personally. I don't remember the story. You might have to remind me about what it's about, but if it's been long enough, I wouldn't mind, doing it again. It's kind of hard to come across stories, especially, well, it's not hard to find stories. It's hard to get permission for them. So, like, legitimately on Reddit, I will spam 50 people, and I might get 1 to 5 of those to respond and give me permission. So it's, that's why sometimes it's hard to come across stories, or more importantly, finding good stories is even more difficult. I almost never get responses back from people that have good stories, or if I do, it's stories that most people have already heard 1,000 times on other channels, so it's kind of a bittersweet thing. Am I ever going to do a face reveal? Probably not. No offense, but the internet and people are crazy, so the less you know about me, the better, and the less I know about you, the better. You know what I mean? Megan, with the $1.99, geez. I'm really going to be able to buy this Cocker Spaniel here soon with all this monies. Thank you. I will say though, I don't know since you guys are in the live chat with me, I'll let it drop here. I haven't full on announced it yet, but I got offered to be on Chilling. I don't know if you guys listen to that app at all. It's really badass. It's so cool. It's so awesome. And I've, since the beginning when I started my channel, I'm like, dude, if I can make it on a Chilling, then I feel like I've kind of made it in a sense, you know, if that makes any sense. But yeah, one of the co-creators of that app reached out to me last month, and I got 2 hours worth of content that I need to record still, and that'll be debuting here in August. And I'm stoked. I'm so excited to be a part of that. I'm very, very stoked. So it's exciting. There's a lot of lot of really good narrators on there. So to be a part of that team is very, I don't know, surreal, because I feel like I've looked up to a lot of these guys, like Let's Read and Being Scared and all these people. You know, I've listened to them for years and years, and I start my own channel, and then all of a sudden I'm having conversations with these dudes and other narrators and stuff like that, and it's almost like celebrity, you know, YouTube type of celebrity type of thing. So it's wild that that he reached out to me and was like, hey, do you want to do this? And I'm like, yeah, like no joke, not exaggerating whatever or whatsoever. When he DM'd me and asked me that, I like got up and ran around my house like a little girl that just got Taylor Swift tickets, you know? Thank you. So I hope you all go over there and check it out in August when it comes out, as I think it'll be, at least the content that they've already sent me, like, it's really good stuff. So not really, I don't really delve too much into the nonfiction stuff, but I mean, if you're gonna pay me and if I get to be on Chilling, then yeah, I'll read nonfiction all day. Or not nonfiction. I like nonfiction. Fiction is what I don't really partake in, because real people are way scarier than the monsters and all that stuff are to me. So yeah, Joel, Dane, Bobby, all of them. Yeah, they're all phenomenal narrators. So again, it's hard to not fanboy out and get excited about it, you know? It's just cool. It's surreal. Where'd that story go? All right, you know what? I'll just read this one. Switch it up a little bit. Okay. It is... Well, wait, what is this one called? I had a very strange experience while driving at night in the middle of nowhere in the rain. I'm not sure how to navigate this sort of thing or make sense of what happened. So... Alright, here we go. Wait, I gotta get that so I can record it. That would probably be smart. July 2nd, 2. Who do you guys listen to on a regular basis outside of like the obvious Let's Read and Being Scared, Your Maker? Mr. Nightmare, probably. Chilling Scares, all them. I do have my own scary story. I've got one paranormal, I guess you could call it, that happened as a child, like in my childhood. I'll have to find, I can't remember which episode it is, but there's an episode I did like, I think it was last year sometime, where I had narrators it was a big collaboration where I had a bunch of narrators come on and tell their own scary stories. So I think most of them were paranormal and the other half were just like creepy encounters, let's not meet type of thing. But I have a really sketchy story that happened to me when I was a mailman, and then I have another one, like a paranormal type one, when I was a child. But the paranormal one is on that episode. I can't remember what it was called. It was so long ago. But it's out there in the ether. I don't know if the quality is even that good. It was so long ago, but yeah. Noetic. Oh yeah. Whisper Diaries is good. Noetic. Yep. Beyond Creepy. I don't know if I've heard of Beyond Creepy. Uncle Unit. Yep. He's a pretty cool dude. I've had him on my channel a little while back. Is that Rip Shy? Yeah, I think I've heard of them, but I haven't actually checked out their channel. Noetic I've heard of too, but I haven't checked theirs out either. It's funny, I don't listen to as much of these stories anymore because now I do it like full time, so I'm still passionate about it, but even in my free time I'm kind of like watching and listening to other stuff, so Jay Nightmares, hell yeah. I love that dude. Such a cool dude. Mr. Nightmare, yeah, he's good. Unit 5. Southern Cannibal. Yeah, Southern Cannibal. I had him on here too. Another cool dude. Mr. Bone, yeah, obviously. That dude's he's up top tier now too. He's so good at what he does. So good at what he does and deserves all of the success that he's having. Oh yeah, Bad Vibes. I've been on his channel. I think he's been on mine too. We haven't, it's been a while, but yeah, it's cool. He's cool. Yeah, maybe one of these times I'll tell you my sketchy story from when I was a mailman. It was 3 spook. Very sketchy. But yeah. Let's get to this story. Alright, y'all ready for the story? Let's see, this is a long, no, it's not that long. About a mid-level one. Alright. I think it's like a glitch story. Okay. Let me get this mic. I had an odd experience that I really can't explain. It gives me like a real gang initiation or human trafficking vibes. And I've left feeling uncomfortable, not like warning people or something. I've since gone back to this location, but there's nothing there to indicate that anyone was ever there. So, I'm a professional mushroom picker. I've been an outdoorsman for... Oh boy, let's restart that. So, I'm a professional mushroom picker and have been an outdoorsman for over 30 years. I go to a lot of Whoa. What's that? Okay. I go to a lot of remote places at a lot of weird times because the rain doesn't care if it's day or night. I had plans to go out picking, so I went to bed super early and then got up around 10 p.m. and started getting my gear together. I couldn't shake this feeling like I had a dream, and I stopped at a rest stop and got attacked. But I don't really remember having any kind of dream like that. I just remember feeling uncomfortable that something was going to come out of nowhere when I pulled over to pee. I just couldn't shake that feeling of seeing the normal places that I stop at. But something bad happening. I pull over to pee while driving all the time. I'm on the road a lot and with a lot of coffee. So for something like that to weird me out is very unusual. I'm also armed for it. I'm also armed. So for it to bug me at this level was just unsettling and highly unusual. I'm on the taller side and jacked, so human beings have never really been imposing in any sense. Past experiences taught me while I walk out in those kind of bad situations, I'm fine. So I have literally zero reason to have this kind of worry or to be at the forefront of my mind. I'm driving 22 and hit Hebo, Oregon. I'm just going to say. I'm driving 22 and hit Hebo, Oregon. And then it turns to 101 just south of Tillamook. And I can't say any of that. Let's go back and do that. Whoa. Megan. Thank you. I'm going to be able to buy these Taylor Swift tickets here soon. And I'll record my reaction at the concert for you. Where was I? I lose my train of thought so quickly. I'm driving 22. I'm driving. Okay, let's restart there. Be at the forefront of my mind. Okay. I'm driving 22 and hit Hebo, Oregon, and then it turns to 101 just south of Tillamook. I'd already pulled over once and got an unnerving feeling after getting it about 10 seconds and then bailed because it felt like people were outside, but I couldn't hear or see anyone. It was just a very present feeling. So I told myself I'm fine and I won't stop and pull out or wait for the next rest stop. So I told myself fine. I won't stop at a pullout or wait for the next rest stop. I couldn't wait anymore, so I found a spot that cars don't seem to pull over at. It's not in front of any houses or paths. There's zero excuses for any human to be out here. It's a perfect spot. There's no indication of other people to use it. Around me is a salt marsh / type habitat and with a wide open plain. No houses around. No mushroom picker paths. No garbage. Nobody had even been behind me, and nobody came up in front of me. It was just me in the woods, and had been for quite some time. I pull over and think, well, okay, there's no way someone is just going to pop out. I must be crazy or this stress is overwhelming. I'm freaking out over nothing. I reach over to grab my coffee and dig out a sandwich and decide to look up one last time. After all, nobody's been there every time I looked before. Why do I still have this feeling? Nothing's gonna be there. And then there he fucking is. A guy. Dressed like he just walked out of the front door of a club in pouring rain at midnight on a Tuesday. In the middle of basically a conservation level type ecosystem. I couldn't believe it. It was actually happening. Then the dream I remembered suddenly clicked, and things start to fall into place that the situation ends very, very badly. Almost like I was actively remembering it before it happened. The memories kind of rushed in a flood and sped up, met up with how the present was going down. And I saw how it ended if I stayed. He didn't approach my car like he was approaching the passenger side as a concerned citizen or something. He walked into the middle of the road, in front of my car, in the place I needed to drive. His clothes weren't soaked, and his pant legs didn't have mud from picking mushrooms, and his sneakers, not boots, weren't even dirty. I don't even know how something like this is physically possible to achieve. I don't even think his clothes started getting wet from the pouring rain until I started observing him. I understand how all of this sounds, so I've chosen my words very carefully here. His left arm swayed as he walked, but his right arm stayed rigid, and he kept his hip pointed away from me as he approached the car. Just a slew of red flags indicating that he very likely had a weapon. He wasn't looking at me, or my car, or my plate. He was looking at something. No, he was looking at some things, not just one thing, about 10 to 15 feet behind me. Oh, good Lord, I cannot talk tonight. He was looking at some things, not just one thing, about 10 to 15 feet behind me. He didn't increase or decrease his speed. He just kept moving at the same pace, with his arm extended at my car, staring at one thing behind me and shifting his gaze to another thing behind me. I throw my car into drive as he continued to move at it. The car and I nearly run him over. This has no effect. He's not shocked. He doesn't jump out of the way. I'm about half a mile up the road and another car comes the opposite direction, and their headlights wash over the area. He's there with his arm staring. Oh my gosh. He's there with his arm out staring where I just was, like I'd never drove away, and he was still actively approaching me. The car gets closer, and I move further away and look back, and he's gone. I've been sober for over 3 years. Life has been unusually hard these past few weeks, but life was fine when this event happened. I'm not entirely Oh boy, Turley. I'm not entirely sure what to think of it. It's so strange and unnerving. And having it happen after such a strange complex and, and having it happen after having such a strange complex feelings has made it me feel like it's almost supernatural in a sense. At minimum, I think I was about to get robbed and killed. But the longer I reflect back on this experience, the more I wonder if this person was human or even existed at all. Or if he did. Or he did, and some extrasensory perception saved my life. The story was weird. Oh, okay. That took a... I don't know why I couldn't get through that. Some of the way that was written was just weird. It's like well written, but at the same time, there's just so much going on. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Let's see. I got another Home Alone type one. Another cutting firewood in the mountains of central Idaho. And there's another one here somewhere. Oh, lady, what's up? How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Hey, howdy, hey, I'm on a yo-yo. Where'd you go there? Where'd you go? Let's find it. Don't worry. Just sit right there. Don't you go anywhere. I know this is super exciting and super entertaining. Whoa, Ghosted, what's up, man? Oh, Inner Scare Wifey too. What's going on? Dang, everybody's hopping in. What's good? What's going on, guys? Oop. Oof. 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 Yeah. I don't know why that was so crazy, or not crazy, just hard to read. It was just like mashed together, and then the way that was like unnecessary and overly like putting commas in places that I feel like didn't need it, so it would like instantly throw me off. Oh my goodness, wifey, thank you so much. You're awesome. I appreciate that very much. I hope you and Inner Scare are having a good night. Damn, Megan, you're killing it tonight. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I have to go to bed. I hope you have a good night and a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much for stopping in, Megan, and your generous donations throughout this thing. It's been a pleasure to have you. So hope to see you again next time. Go get some CP9 nights. Go catch some ZZ Tops, and I'll see you in the next one. Where did that... Dude, I am so all over the place. Oh my gosh. I had that story right in front of me eyes, and now it's gone. Disappeared like that dude in that last story. Just found out there's already critic pages online and benchmark sites adding the game to them. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I'm so stoked to be a part of it. If y'all didn't know, which you probably didn't because I haven't said anything about it, but Ghosted is making a horror video game, and I've been lucky enough to be part of it. Like, not, well, I'll be like voice acting in it. Horror on the Rocks recommended me, and me and him and Derek Weber are all going to be part of it, and we get to use our voices for that game, and it's pretty. It looks pretty dope. It looks awesome. So I'm stoked to be a part of it. I'm very grateful to be a part of it too, because it'll be the first time I'm really getting to do some actual voice acting stuff. You know, I'm not I'm mostly just narrating and stuff. So it'll be nice to put my voice to some tests and put myself out there in ways that I've yet to really test my voice and my whatever you want to call it. Just rambling at this point. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I don't know. I'm just stoked. Okay, I can't find that story, and oh my gosh, I have too many tabs open. Is the problem? Too many tabs. Yo, lady, thank you so much. And you too, wifey. And Marlene, yeah, thank you. You all are. Okay, well, can you settle for a Craigslist story? Because I do have that one in front of me, and maybe, just maybe, this story might reappear by some magic. Well, where'd you go? Okay, there it is. All right, Craigslist story. Which this one is going to be not on Booze and Booze. It's going to be on Twisted Tales. Because, yeah. Story 1 for Twisted Tales. All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. For a while there, I'm like, is this ever gonna happen? Am I ever gonna get some exposure? You know, but it's just one of those things. And I'd been told constantly from other narrators, like, just stay consistent, keep putting content out there. It'll come. What's the movie? Angels in the Outfield. If you build it, they'll come. Yeah. And then over the last month, I had a video do pretty well for me, better than it ever had before, and now I'm getting pretty good amount of subs every day. And then yeah, I got the chilling thing, and then this video game thing, and it's just all, I don't know. Sorry, I'm not trying to boast or brag, but I'm just very glad that I left the post office 6 months ago to go full time and do this, because it obviously was the right choice, and I'm passionate about this, and I really enjoy doing this shit. It's fun. Wait, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Okay. All right, let's do the story now, shall we? All right. Bringing my boyfriend saved me from a Craigslist. I really can't talk tonight already. I'm saying the title, and I'm already messing that up. Okay. Bringing my boyfriend saved me from a Craigslist creep. My brother wrote this version of the story a month ago, but I wrote my perspective for a comment in another subreddit, and I thought it would be fitting here. A few weeks ago, I had to fly out to a small town that I'd never been to in order to look at a place to live. My boyfriend flew with me, and before the trip, I researched all sorts of apartments on Craigslist and set up a bunch of appointments. Our first appointment was in the afternoon, in this sort of remote residential area. The landlord sounded fine over email and asked me to call him an hour before the appointment to confirm that I was coming. I called, and he didn't answer. So my boyfriend and I started walking to the house, just hoping that he would show up. Maybe 10 minutes before the appointment, he called me. Are you coming? He asked. He sounded like an older man and had this very strange, slow way of talking, but I just thought he was older. Yeah, we're actually in the front of the house now. And he got extremely upset. We? Oh, yeah, my boyfriend's with me. You never told me you had a boyfriend. You never said that. It had never crossed my mind to tell him that kind of information since my boyfriend would not be coming to live with me. He was just helping me look for apartments on this trip. I told the man so, and after a very long pause, he said, I'm sorry, it's just sometimes people don't tell me when they're married, and it surprises me. I'll see you soon. And then he hung up. I told my boyfriend about what the man had said, and he was immediately weirded out. He wanted to leave, but there were slim pickings in terms of real estate at this point, so I stupidly said that we had to stay just in case this place was the place, you know? As we're discussing it, we see a man leave the house we're going to view. This man was young and extremely sketchy looking. Greasy hair, weird eyes. He took one look at us and ran out of the house to his car and pulled away from the curb with a screech. Okay, so now we're really weirded out. But this isn't enough for us to bail just yet. As we look at each other wondering what to do, the landlord arrives. He's in his 50s, very tall and very strong looking. His eyes are completely blank and empty of warmth or emotion. He slowly walks up to us and says, I'd shake your hands, but mine are dirty. What from? My boyfriend asks. Work, is the flat reply. He asked us a lot of questions about me, completely ignoring my boyfriend. The entire time he stared into my eyes without blinking. What am I going to school for? What other places I'm considering for living? Is my boyfriend moving in this town too? I try to give answers that are as vague as possible. Meanwhile, my boyfriend asked the landlord questions of the same kind, which he refused to answer. Then he says, apropos of nothing, let me show you guys the basement. At this point, I should have noped out of there, but we didn't. I kept thinking this was just an eccentric old man from a small town, and that we were just feeling paranoid. My boyfriend, on the other hand, wanted out of there, but he followed us as the man led us to the back of the house, away from the street, to this sort of detached shed. He opened up the door, and we saw that there were stairs leading down into utter darkness. He flipped the switch at the top of the stairs. No light came on. Normally, the response for this is, oh shit, the light's out, or something like that. But he just said, and slowly walked down into the darkness. Then he stood there, without moving, in the dark, and said, aren't you guys coming down? There's nothing to see if the light's out, said my boyfriend. The landlord just stood there for a long time, and slowly walked back up the stairs, closed the basement door without saying another word. He took us into the house. Weird and increasingly creepy things ensued. The front door, the only exit to the house, locked automatically. When my boyfriend tried to fiddle with it, the man got really upset and told him to leave it alone. The man kept trying to box us into small rooms, and, according to my boyfriend, kept reaching his hands into his pocket, only to take them away when he caught us looking at him. On Craigslist and in person, the man claimed that there was a grad student already living in the house, but the evidence of that seemed arranged. There were neat piles of generic textbooks. There were neat piles of generic textbooks on the table, but not other things a 20-something might read. There's a bowl of fruit on the table, but no other food in the fridge or pantry. No utensils either. There were maybe 3 t-shirts inside the closet. This supposed grad student wasn't out of town, but the landlord couldn't say what school he went to or how long he'd been renting the house. Finally, the man had showed us every single room inside the house but one. And this one, he refused to open, claiming it's just the attic, and we didn't need to see anything up there. He gave us several reasons when we were quiet. Damn it. He gave us several reasons when we inquired about it. It was unfinished. There was no furniture up there. It would smell bad. And this last one I definitely believed. Because standing near that door, it did smell terrible. Finally, we made our excuses and just bolted out of there. The man walked us out, pretending to go to his car and leave. When he thought we'd turn the corner, he slowly sauntered back inside the house. My boyfriend, who was fixated on the idea that there was something wrong with this guy, Googled the man that night, and we found out 3 things. One, that he was the pillar of the community, known by a lot of the townspeople. There was no evidence of him owning or managing any real estate company, though, as he claimed on Craigslist. And that he listed his home address as the very house that we've been touring, the house where the grad student lived. So yeah, that was definitely the creepiest thing that's ever happened to me. Okay. That one was a lot better. Good Lord. Let's see. Where is that other one? There it is. Okay. Mountains in Idaho. Oh, yes. Okay. That one. All right. Okay, there's that one, and then there is... Oh, I already read that one. Got this one, got that one. Ooh. Hold on one second. I need to ask for this one, because that one looks good. Oh, yes. Okay. That right there. Please. Unable to send. Why? Weird. Weird, okay. There was kind of a theme. I have like 6,000 things going right now. I have like a deep wood stories that I'm wanting to do another one here pretty soon. And then I had like a Home Alone or just scary home stories, I guess would be the best way to title it or theme it. I have 2 or 3 hitchhiker ones, but I don't think it's long enough for an episode, so I need to find a couple of more, and then I can do a hitchhiker stories. Yeah. So, I initially had a theme, but now that I'm looking at it, no theme. Just reading random stories and being and getting distracted very easily, because that's what I'm very good at. Distracto. So, okay, so there is the mountains of central Idaho, and there is another one. I think it's another home one. That one's pretty... Damn, that one's long. It's another one about a dog, too. There's a lot of dialogue in it, too. Oops. Okay, so which one? Mountains of Central Idaho, or this one's titled Open the Door, They're Waiting for Us. Your call. You choose. Live or die, make your choice. Amy, keep your comments to yourself, please. No sarcasm is allowed in this chat, this chit chat. Oh, intercare intercare sleep. What's up, man? How you doing? I am. We out here. We live in it. Trying to make this a regular thing. Trying to be let's read, you know? Trying to be Jolteon. All right. I will be Idaho. Idaho. Idaho it is. Whoa, 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 whoa. Thank you. Is it Char Marie? Char Marie and Event Horizon. Thank you both. Thank you too. I appreciate all the nice comments. Okay, good. I'm glad you're kind of an audio guru. I've had to come to you quite a few times, so I'm glad it sounds good, because I was worried. I don't do the live too much, so I know I can make it sound good in post, but in real time, you just never know. All right. Mountains deep. I was going to say something else, but I already forgot. Yeah, this, if you ever want loops or looped images or intros and all that stuff, Jensen, I don't know if you've ever talked to him, but he's the one that's done, him and Robin, but Jensen's done a lot more for me, but he's very reasonable prices and he does a phenomenal job. Okay. Cool. Appreciate it, man. All right, mountain story. Here we go. Cutting firewood in the mountains of central Idaho. All right. In many rural areas of the American West, cutting firewood in the national forest is a necessary chore if you want a warm house through the winter. Our home in the mountains of central Idaho was no exception. It was normal for my dad to pick me up and my brothers after school and head into the mountains for an afternoon of firewood. Gathering. My dad would fell the trees and then saw them into chunks. My brother and I had the task of rolling wood into the truck and unloading it. Okay, dum-dum, it's loading it. My brothers and I would have the task of running the wood to the truck and loading it up. We would continue this assembly line process until we had a truckload full of wood, usually right before nightfall. Hot, sweaty, and exhausted, we would pile into the truck cab and make our way down the mountain. At home the next day, we would unload. Oh my gosh. At home the next day, we would unload and split the wood and stack it into neat little rows. This process would repeat until we had a winter's worth of fuel for our house and our grandma's cat. Grandma's. Oh my God, I can't talk. Hold on. I just said grandma's. This process for a house and fuel for a house. 4:30 here in Northern Ireland. Whoa, yeah. I've always wanted to go visit Ireland. That'd be so cool to see. Travel abroad, as they say. Yes, Jensen is very good at what he does. Super cool dude. Super cool dude. I send him feet pics all the time. Until we had a winter's worth of fuel for a house. Fuel for a house. All right, let's go back to Grandma's. Where is that at? I should probably honestly just start that whole paragraph again. Next day, we went on the Little Rose. Okay. Let us return back to the story. This process was repeated until we had a winter's worth of fuel for our house and our grandma's cabin, and any extra for elderly neighbors. This particular afternoon, we decided to try a different logging road on the other side of the valley. This was well outside our familiar logging area. No specific or real reason for the change, but my dad said he wanted a change of scenery. This logging road hadn't been maintained in some time. Large rocks and fallen branches littered the path. My brothers and I had to walk in front, pushing rocks and wood out of the way as my dad lurched the truck on the switchbacks. Yard by yard, we slowly made our way up the mountain. That hike was physically brutal. As we ascended the mountain and got further into the trees, this odd feeling started to set in. I wasn't sure if it was from the exhaustion from the hike or something more. There was electricity in the air, like the whole mountain was buzzing at a wavelength just below my senses. In some odd way, it felt like the mountain knew we were there and wasn't welcome to that fact. I wanted to say something to my brothers, but before I opened up my mouth, my younger brother said, "Does anyone else feel like we're not welcome here?" My older brother and I stopped in our tracks and looked back at him. Both of us nodded in agreement. This moment was broken by my dad honking and motioning us to continue clearing the path. Reluctantly, we pushed forward into some... Oh, boy. Rewind. Reluctantly, we pushed forward into a small clearing in the woods, where we finally stopped the truck. My dad, oblivious to our apprehension... My dad, who was oblivious to our apprehension, or simply choosing to ignore it. Okay, we're going to start that over. I'm freaking fumbling. In the woods, where we finally stopped the truck. Oh, thank you. Chessmond? I don't know. I'm sorry if I screwed that up or messed that up. But thank you, man. I appreciate that. Grandma does sound like a candy bar. It's definitely got some chewy almond nuggets in there too, for sure. Or we finally stopped the truck. Where was I? Okay, so there it is. There it is. Grandma's bars. Truck. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. My dad, oblivious to our apprehension, or just simply choosing to ignore it, grabbed his saw and went to work. As the wood was felled and loaded, I couldn't shake this ominous feeling enveloping me, like a dark shroud. I noticed my brothers were taking occasional glances over their shoulders as we continued to work. Everyone, but my dad, seemed on edge. The sun nestled down into the trees, and twilight began to set in. As the light drained from the sky, my anxiety only intensified. It wasn't only my dad unexpectedly. Wait, okay, good Lord. So, I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but it is the bane of my existence. When I read like 2 or 3 words ahead in my head as I'm reading out loud. So if I'm saying we were chatting out loud, I'm already reading and cracking jokes, which is the next three words in my head. So I'm like morphing words together. So that's how Grandmar was was formed, like things like that. And it is the bane of my existence because I read too damn fast and I'm just like squishing it all together. Good Lord. Okay. Began to set in. The sun nestled down into the trees, and twilight began to set in. Okay. Where was I? I lost myself already. Sorry, this is definitely gonna be a running theme in my lives, like me getting lost. The sun nestled down into the trees. I swear, the sun. Okay, there we go. Dawn edge. Okay, hold on. Wait, let me take a sip in my drink. Yeah, and if anybody finds any Grandma's bars, be sure to send me a couple so I can try those out. All right. The sun nestled down into the trees, and twilight began to set in. As the light drained from the sky, my anxiety only intensified. It wasn't until my dad unexpectedly told us to load up that a wave of relief flooded over me. I could see the tension in my brothers melt away as well. The truck wasn't fully loaded, an oddity. Getting half a load was a waste, according to my dad. We would sometimes work into the dark just to make sure the truck was full. But tonight, he seemed eager to head home. With everything loaded, we started back down the road. Although dead tired, everyone seemed to be in a much lighter mood now. We were chatting and cracking jokes while trying to blow off steam from that afternoon. We were almost out of the tree line and into the valley desert. Going down the switchbacks, you want to be careful, especially with the load, even if it was half that. A brown blur jumped up. A brown blur jumped up from the downslope side of the switchback. Shit, was the only word that came out of my dad's mouth as he slammed on the brakes. Loaded with wood and traveling downhill, there was no way to avoid smashing into the blur. The truck finally ground to a standstill. The four of us peered through the windshield. Nobody was saying a word. Illuminated in the yellow glow of our headlights was the crumpled body of a deer. Grumbling and cursing the deer's existence, my dad exited the truck to investigate. Doing as they were told, my brother stayed put in the truck. I didn't listen. I following close behind my dad. The truck was fine. We hadn't been traveling fast when we smacked the deer. Just some hair and blood in the grill guard. Hitting a deer really wasn't that unusual. The mountains were full of them. What was unusual was that the deer dropped so quickly. At faster speeds, deer could still be upright and sprinting away to die in the woods after a collision. That last burst of adrenaline dump. This one fell over like a rag doll. Before even approaching the carcass of a deep, foul... Oh, wait. Okay. Oh, boy. He's there. Okay. Before even approaching the carcass, a deep, foul smell hit us. Deer smell bad when they're alive, but this was on a whole nother level. It was the smell of decay and rot. My stomach began to turn as we got closer. My nostrils were burning. Coming up on the deer, it was clearly dead, like really dead. The stench was so overwhelming, my eyes were watering. The body was a true horror scene. The deer's eyes were gone, replaced with sunken, hollow holes. As if to overcompensate for their absence, the tongue was swollen and black as coal. It could not be contained and hung out the side of its mouth. The underbelly was split open, entrails and spilling. What the? Entrails and offal. Offal? I'm not a deer expert, so I don't know if offal, if that's not the right word. Okay. The underbelly was split open, entrails and offal spilled into the dirt. In the dim headlights, it looked as though the deer's fur and viscera were moving, wiggling almost. Holding my breath, I bent down closer for a look. My heart stopped. The deer, inside and out, was covered in maggots. It was dead, all right, but our truck did not kill it. Clearly, this deer had been dead for days, if not weeks. I immediately backed away, retching. That electric anxiety came screaming back. My dad was always the quiet, stoic type, but right now, even in the dim headlights of the truck, I could see the abject horror painted all over his face. His gaze wasn't on the deer, but focused down the mountain. Poorly masking the fear in his voice, he told me firmly to walk back to the truck and get inside. I obeyed without objection. As I grabbed the door handle, a loud shriek came from out of the trees. Branches were shattering and breaking. Something was heading up the slope toward us. I slammed my door and... oh boy. I slammed my door closed just as my dad reached the truck. Before his door was even shut, he was already pressing on the accelerator. The truck launched forward, sending us over the deer carcass and racing down the hill. With mine and my brothers yelling, it was hard to tell if the shrieking was following us or not. Our truck popped out of the tree line and into the desert sagebrush. Once out of the woods, everything quieted down. We were left with only the rumble of the engine and the wind through the half-open windows. Pulling into our property, the truck came to a stop. We were all just sitting in silence. No one even moved to get outside the truck. Everyone started talking at once, though. We all had questions. What was that screaming? How does a dead deer jump uphill in front of a truck? There was no way that the truck killed it. My dad just shook his head and motioned for us all to quiet down. That deer was dead when we hit it. It didn't jump out in front of us. It was thrown at us. We all stared at him. He explained it all... okay, good Lord. He explained that all day up on the mountain, he had felt uneasy. But not wanting to worry us boys, he kept it to himself. He described it like walking into a stranger's living room while they were upstairs asleep. That feeling never left him, and as the twilight came, and he happened to catch a shadow in the corner of his eye... oh, wait. That feeling never left him, and as twilight came, he happened to catch a shadow in the corner of his eye. Not far into the woods, he saw figures moving from tree to tree. He couldn't focus on them long enough for a good look. He couldn't focus on them long enough for a good look before they would dodge behind other trees. His stomach dropped. Working hard to keep his composure, he hurried us to the truck to get out of there. It was after hitting the deer and discovering it was long dead that my dad pieced together what was happening. Something threw that deer to get us to stop. Before the shrieking began, he could hear something moving in the darkness beyond the road. It was a trap. Running back to the truck could have started an ambush or triggered a prey drive, so we walked back to the truck. The second we were inside, he drove that truck downhill with no intention of stopping for anyone or anything. That feeling of electricity didn't disappear until we hit the county highway. My brothers and I have never saw anything. Or wait, no, good Lord. My brothers and I never saw anything as we drove away, but those screams from the forest will never ever leave my mind. We didn't gather firewood for the rest of that season. For the first time in his life, my dad just bought what we needed. And although we started to gather wood again next season, we've never been up that particular mountain. The Forest Service has permanently closed and reclaimed that road. The only way back up into those woods again is a long hike. And I, for one, am not interested in ever taking it again. Whatever is on that mountain, whatever threw that deer carcass, whatever chased us out of the woods, it did not want us there. It wanted us gone. Or worse, it wanted us dead. That was a good one. I read that one, like skimmed over it when I messaged this dude to get it, but that was good. That was one of the better ones I've heard in a while. What'd you guys think of it? Echoes? Is it still echoing? Hopefully it's not. Hopefully, I don't know. Good Lord. Is it still echoing? I don't know if it's like reverb or what. Hopefully it's not still doing that, because that annoys me. Grandfather not here. Okay. Okay. Cool. Maybe your phone's haunted. Maybe that's what it is. Think about that. Maybe whatever that was. Maybe something's coming to throw a deer in front of your truck. Has anybody else ever hit a deer? I've hit a deer multiple times. It sucks. It's annoying. I think maybe it might be when I get super close to my mic. Maybe that's what it is. Or maybe my mic or computer is haunted. It's haunted with Grand Mars bars. That was a long one too. Almost 14 minutes, which 4 of those minutes will be edited out because it was just a lot of me fumbling over words, you know. So maybe like a 10-minute story. What? You what, mate? You what? I have a bunch of stories for chilling, but I don't think I can read those on a live. I think they have to be exclusive for chillin' app. Where did you go? Okay, there's that one. Okay, so 7, 24, 7. That's good. Good enough for who it's for, right? You get it. You understand. You love it. Just like me. Okay, I need to go refill my drink, so don't leave. But if you do, I understand. Just give me like 1 minute, okay? It's booze and booze after all. You're getting the booze. You're getting the booze, but I need the booze. If that makes sense. Be right back. What'd I miss? Anything good? Nothing. Nothing. Too smooth. Okay. Alright, I think I got one more. One more, and then probably call it a night. It's a pretty... This is another long one, too, or longer. There's a lot of dialogue in it, so I guess I'll have to put on my voices for it. Open the door. New audio file. Open the door. Story. Okay. One more for the road. Sound good? Sounds good to me. Oh my gosh. Okay, so... Wow. So on Streamlabs, the chat is way faster than the other one. And this one's like way slower. Okay. Amy, you're a spicy one. You know what? Let's all leave. Yeah, you should have just left. Should have just came back and there'd be just me talking to myself. Yeah, it's Friday Junior. That's a good name for Thursdays. Thursdays. Oh, Jimmy Horrors, what's up? Sorry, I almost missed you. Interscare Wifey, I just saw your comment too. I don't know why this one's so slow. But I think this is only like my second time. I did lives a year ago for a little bit, and then I don't know why I just kind of fell off, but now it's my time to shine. I'm gonna live it up. Probably a lot more often because it's a lot, I don't know, it's more engaging, and I get to record stories at the same time and just chit chat. You know, you understand. Yeah, I'm drinking Tito's and sugar-free grape thing. Just like, I take a tumbler, fill 3/4 of it up with water. Okay, so ice first, then fill it up 3/4 of the way with water. Put a double or triple shot of Tito's vodka in there, and then whatever kind of flavoring you want, because I'm trying to watch my figure, you know, and don't want to drink my calories. So Tito's only has like 64 calories per fluid ounce or something like that. So, and then get the sugar-free whatever, mix it in, and then I can still catch a nice buzz and not drink, you know, a shitload of calories from beer. And plus, beer makes me... I used to drink a lot of beer, but now it makes me sleepy. My booze of choice normally is whiskey or bourbon, but I haven't drank it as much as I used to because I do make awful decisions when I drink whiskey. So, yeah, I had to pump the brakes on the whiskey. Plus, once you get a kid, yeah, it's time to put the bottle down, you know, type of thing. So I don't drink whiskey as much as I used to. Still will on occasion, but not quite as much as I used to. And now it's usually just Tito's. Tito's. With extra toes, please. Yeah, I'm not a weed smoker. I used to be a long time ago, and ever since I've been back from the army, I can't do it. I'm like the worst person in the world to get high with because I do two things. I get really high, laugh a lot, eat too much, then fall asleep, or I get super paranoid for no reason. And those really aren't two fun things to be high around. But yeah, my whiskey of choice is definitely Buffalo Trace. If I had to choose to, tracing buffaloes. I don't, I don't think I've ever had gin and juice. I know the song, but never actually had like a gin and tonic or gin and juice or anything. Ooh, Johnny, I've had Johnny Walker Blue, I think. I don't think I've had red. And yes, vodka does literally go with anything. That's why I like it so much. It's it's not fun to be around me high. I'm paranoid about nothing, about stupid shit, or like I said, get high, get sleepy, or eat. I'll just like eat everything around me and then fall asleep. So it's not fun. Root beer, root beer. Jeez. Yes. Do you want some animal crackers with that too, Amy? Some of those ones, the animal crackers, that came in the little circus box. You remember those as a kid? A&W root beer too. Oh yes, in the frosted mug. You ever go to like an actual A&W stand where you like go and they put the little thing on your window and yeah. Oh yes, animal crackers in my yes. This is a good one. You have to admit. Come on. Give me some credit, shall you? Want to read another story, or do you want to talk about food now? As I can talk about food and drinks and stuff, and you just have to get used. I guess if you're here, you'll get accustomed to my rambling because I ramble and I talk to myself and all that fun stuff. Yeah, I think that's another thing too. Is like when I used to be a heavy weed smoker, it was all Reggie. It was all like dirty ass weed that I would have like more seeds than actual weed, and I had to go drive BFE, meet some sketchy dude, buy like a quarter of weed for like $25 and maybe get a blunt or two out of it if I was lucky. Now you can just stroll into a store. I'm gonna get this, this, and this, and each one of it would knock me on my ass. So I'll leave that to y'all potheads. It just ain't for me no more. Yeah, it's legal here too. I mean it honest to God should be legal everywhere. I don't know why there's still some states that don't allow it at this point. Like, I mean, I prefer drinking over weed, but alcohol is way more dangerous than weed is, and it's legal everywhere, so just blanket statement, blanket make it legal everywhere. Just do it at this point. Okay. Let's read this story, shall we? Okay. Let me get the recording device opened. All right. Let's see. Okay, shall we do this? Yes. Okay. Open the door, they're waiting for us, is what this one is titled. I'm writing this on a phone, so I'm sorry about the errors along with the formatting errors too. It may also be a bit long. There were a couple of short conversations that I had with this creep. This happened a couple of weeks ago. I'm 17, and my parents were out of state for the month on vacation. I live in a small, nice neighborhood that's had a quiet. I live in a small, nice neighborhood that has quite a distance. See, that's why it's messing me up. Okay. I live in a small, nice neighborhood, quite a distance from any other neighborhoods that are. Ugh, I keep messing this up. Let's just go back. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I live in a small. Couple of weeks ago. I'm 17, and my parents were out of state for the month on vacation. Okay, there we go. There it is. Okay. And go right back here and do that. Creeper asked them if they will sell it to you back in the back of the building. Just yeah, that would be kind of cool, you know, to be like, hey, can I actually buy this weed behind? I'm just gonna meet you out back in the alley back there, and just take this hoodie and put the hood up, and then yeah, let's make this as sketchy as possible, just so I can get that real feel, get that nostalgia back. State for the month on vacation. Okay. Back to the story. So I can mess this up one more time. I live in a small, nice neighborhood that's quite a distance from any of the other neighborhoods around us. My neighborhood likes to be involved with each other, so there's always neighborhood summer barbecues and parties now and then. Everyone always attends these. This is relevant to the story, I promise. So I'm familiar with who lives in the neighborhood, as I can name off a majority of them from the top of my head. The neighborhood is always dead quiet after 9 p.m., as all the kids are inside by then and families are usually heading off to bed. I'm in a spray paint art, and I decided I wanted to work on a painting in my garage. This was around 10 p.m., and it was definitely a lot cooler by then. The garage door is fully open at this point, too. I'm setting out a tarp so I can start painting, when I hear someone walking on the sidewalk. I look up, expecting to say hi to a neighbor going on a late-night walk around the neighborhood. Instead, it's a man I thought I couldn't recognize at first glance, due to it being dark and the only decent light source was from the garage. He was at least 6'3", lanky, and looking. He was at least 6'3", lanky, and looked completely normal from what I could see. The man stood at the end of my driveway, facing me. There was little light stretching across the driveway that was hitting his face, and I still couldn't recognize him. I live in a very friendly state, where we're usually just nice to strangers and would make conversation. I thought nothing suspicious, as he could have been just a neighbor I wasn't familiar with. So I struck up a so I struck up a conversation like I normally would. Hi, how's it going? Hi. It's going good so far. Sorry, I don't really recognize you because it's so dark. Oh, I'm Xavier. Xavier, I don't think we've met before, have we? Did you just move into the neighborhood or something? Yeah. I moved into the corner house up the street. Did you move in with the... Did you move in with the Millers? Yeah, the Millers. I moved in with them. They're my cousins, and they're letting me stay with them until I figure some things out. I thought nothing of this, as it seemed fairly normal for a family to let one of the members... Oh, boy. I thought nothing of this, as it seemed normal for a family to let a member of theirs stay with them for a while, and the Millers were just those kind of people. Well, I better get going. I need to finish something up. It was nice meeting you. He said my name. I don't think I introduced myself, did I? Oh, the Millers told me about you. I tried not to think much of this, because I would babysit the Millers' kids frequently, and my family is close with them. Xavier continued to walk, and I thought nothing of what just happened and just continued to paint. The next morning, I went on a run to my high school that was about 3 miles away. My high school is on a common road that always has cars on it. As I was nearing the school, I heard a car pull up behind me. I stopped running and turned around to see a beat-up car with the windows rolled down. A smiling man was sitting in the driver's seat. He looked to be in his mid to late 20s, and he had a fairly handsome face. Hi. I probably had some kind of confused look on my face, as I didn't recognize him, but I knew the voice from somewhere. It's Xavier. We met the other night. Oh, hi. Sorry, I didn't recognize you. It's fine. You're pretty far from home. That's quite a long run. Aren't you tired? I can give you a ride home if you'd like. Oh, no, it's fine. I like running. Thanks for the offer, though. Want to go out for a cup of coffee? No thanks. I don't drink coffee. We don't have to get coffee then. I'll pay for you. Come on. I want to go get something with you. No thanks. I'm not really interested. Come on. Let's go. Oh, gosh darn it. Good Lord. Good Lord. Reading too fast again. Oh, come on. Let's go. Hop in. He reaches over to open up the passenger drawer. Oh boy. He reaches over to open up the passenger door and beckons me to come inside. At this point, it's clear that I don't want to go. I step off from the grass and back onto the sidewalk. I said no. Sorry. Come on. Just get in the fucking car. It's not a big deal. I gotta go. Some friends are expecting me. And that's when I full-on sprint to the school's track and called one of my friends to pick me up. While waiting at the track for my friend to pick me up, Xavier's beat-up car drives down the road, away from the direction of my neighborhood. I tried to just shake it off, which was a stupid thing to me. I tried to not think much of it and just shake it off, which was a stupid thing of me to do. A couple of days later, there was a neighborhood barbecue. Although my parents weren't home, I didn't mind going because it's always a blast. I hung out with my neighborhood friend. Oh boy. Okay. I hung out with my neighborhood friends like I usually do. I saw the Millers and had a friendly conversation with them. Oh, I met Xavier the other night. They looked confused, and the Millers didn't know who I was talking about. They said they didn't know an Xavier. No family member moved in with them. No one had moved in with them. I told them about what happened at the school the other day while I was on my run. Now the Millers and I are both freaking out. They call over one of our neighbors who's a colleague. Okay, good lord. Hold on, let me go back. Messed up too many times. Okay. Yeah, I'm once I finish the story's almost done, and then you guys can probably go over and see Jolteon. Cause yeah. That's always a fun time. Amy, please keep your comments to yourself. Thank you. I'm not recruiting X-Men. All over one. Okay. Free. Now the middle. Okay. Let's go back, shall we? Oh, wait. I definitely lost my place. This is fun. Okay. There it is. There it is. Don't worry. Don't worry. I found it. Okay. Now. Okay. Here we go. Back to square one. The Millers and I are freaking out, and they call over one of our neighbors who's a cop. We'll call him Popo. We'll call him... I can't. I can't with the fucking name. Why would you call him Popo, even for the story's sake? Okay, I'm going to have to, like, adjust this in real time, because I can't call the man Popo and not fucking laugh. Okay. My run. While I was on my run, the Millers and I are freaking out. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back for the freaking millionth time. Freaking Popo. Why would you name it that, man? It just made me giggle. Okay. The Millers and I are freaking out, and they call over one of our neighbors who's a cop. He lives a couple of He lives a couple of houses down from him. I tell him about the confrontations I had with the guy and what he looked like. He told me to call him or the police if I didn't feel safe, or if I encountered him again. The neighbors kept a lookout for Xavier and didn't let their children out late. There's no sign of him for 2 weeks. I got back from a friend's house late one night. I pulled into the garage and went inside, turned on the lights, and I began to make something to eat. Then there was a soft knock at my front door. It was late. I got back from a friend's and my guard was down. So I walked across my house like I normally would. From the front door, you could hear footsteps. If someone was walking to the door, normally they wouldn't try to hide their steps, so I thought it was maybe just one of my friends. I looked through the peephole, saw a wide smile that belonged to, yeah, you guessed it, Xavier. He was at my door, late at night, and he had a large backpack with him. He heard my footsteps, and I could hear him say, "Hey, I'm sorry about last time. I didn't mean to be like that. It was just a bad day." I wanted him to go away. I wanted to yell, "Just get the hell away from me," through the closed door. But all that came out was this lame whisper. So he said again, "I just came to apologize. Open up the door. I don't mean any harm." He then tried to wiggle the doorknob, his voice getting louder and constantly pestering. At this point, I'm starting to freak out. I couldn't remember even where I put my phone. My family didn't have a house phone either. Xavier was now pounding on the door and repeatedly pushing the doorbell and kept repeating, "Open the door! Open the door! They're waiting for us!" My dog heard the ringing of the doorbell. I don't think he heard the soft knocks earlier because he was upstairs somewhere. But when my dog hears the doorbell, he's He's always excited to go look out front. Oh my gosh, the way this is written. Good Lord. But when my dog hears the doorbell, he's always excited to go look out the front window and see who's standing on the front porch. If it's someone he recognizes, he'll just stand there quietly, looking at them until one of us would open up the door. When it's someone he doesn't recognize, he barks. He's a German Shepherd, and his aggressive bark is very loud. My dog comes running down the stairs, looks out the window, and doesn't recognize Xavier, so he starts barking at him from the window. I hear Xavier laugh and then say, "They never told me you had a dog. You're smarter than they said you were." With my dog barking, I guess I kind of snap back to my senses, and I realize that I left my phone in my car in the garage. I grabbed my phone and called the cops. By the time they got there, of course, he was gone. I gave a description to them, and they drove around the area for an hour looking for the guy. But apparently they never found him. I stayed at a relative's house for a couple of days until my parents got back, and we changed all the locks in the house and installed a security system, along with some floodlights. My parents have me on lockdown. To this day, I hate remembering the sound of his voice, especially saying my name. I get physically ill when I think about it. To think, I thought the bastard had a handsome face too. The neighborhood cop patrols around the neighborhood for a while after his shift ends every night now. What still scares me is how he said they, and I hope it was just a way for him to scare me. And I'm hoping there's not some kind of cult or something against my existence or something. Okay, that last part's weird. I'm just going to end it on that. What still scares me is how he said they. Yeah, I'm going to end it on that. It's that last part. To wait for him to scare me. Scares me is how he said they. All right, yeah, my last part's. That's how it's going to end. I'm exhausted, been cleaning all day, and yes, Booze is drinking, and he gave me crap for drinking beer. Well, I mean, you set yourself up for that one. That was like a T-ball, you know. Don't stress. It's not. It's dyslexic. Are you cleaning too damn hit? Oh. Okay, that story was like had some good parts, and then this is like a really good example of the stories that I'm talking about where they have like a lot of potential to be good, and then just the way that they're written, it just I don't know, the subject matter is really good and the potential is there, but then it's just the way it's written. It's hard to enunciate and pronounce things and make sure you hit the right pacing and this, that, and the other because, good Lord. Oh, Lord. Okay. Well, yeah. Yes, I'm very jealous of your root beer and animal crackers. Very envious of that. Well, yeah. The other story that I have is way too freaking long. Way too long. And, yeah. It's going to be hard to top the Idaho story for me. Mama. See you later, Mama. Thanks for coming. Thanks for stopping by. Go get yourself some sleep or whatever you're about to do. Go catch some ZZ Tops. Clover, what's up? Sorry, I just now noticed that you were in the chit chat. Oh, man. Yeah, no, not doing that. Wait, I already did that one. And that one. What time is it? 11:30. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay. Let's see. There's that one. Yeah, it's gonna be hard not to, or it's gonna be hard to top the Idaho story. That was spooky. You're famous. Oh yes, you are. I mean, I guess definitely in Horror on the Rocks channel or live chats. I know I wasn't sure if he was gonna be online tonight or not. I need to bring him on here sometime soon, or get Derek in here too, and just get a good old fashioned live-a-thon. I don't know what to call it. I was gonna try to come up with something super witty and cheeky, but nothing came to mind. So yeah, how many was that? Let's take a peek. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's probably, yeah, 30, 40 minutes, something like that. That's probably enough. I don't know. Maybe next week, or maybe maybe this weekend. I'll see if he wants to. Hey, how you doing? Is it Elk? Is that how you say your name? A lot of movement. Clean. Well, Amy don't have too many root beers. You still gotta drive home, you know? I get most of my stories from Reddit. Occasionally, and very rarely, I will get user submissions. Most of them are all from Reddit. And that's why it's hard to get stories, because you have to reach out to specific or individual artists, authors, and then ask for permission. And then if they give you permission, then you get the green light to use them. But most of them are throwaway accounts, and then they don't respond. And so you just get left on red, and I have to play some kind of sad song and stand in the corner, go stand in the rain, and cry. So, yeah. Life of a YouTuber. Horror is a square, isn't he? It's a square. Square. Yeah, well, thanks, Sherry. I appreciate that. I did my best. So you guys get the live reads, and you get to see how many times I mess up words and how much extra work I provide for myself. Yeah, it's insane to get. It's so hard to get permission from people. You wouldn't think it would be that hard. I feel like most of them would be cool with it too if they just looked at their inbox, but a lot of them don't. They just like post a story and then walk away. Yeah, no worries. No worries, Elk. Yeah, you can go back and re-listen to me fumbling over words for an hour and a half or 2 hours or whatever. It's a good time. Good times. Where is that at? Trying to get stuff together just so I don't have to do this. Yeah, I have a bunch of stories. Well, I have like 4 or 5 of them, like I think I said earlier, but I have like 4 or 5 stories that I could read, but they're for specifically for chilling, and I'm sure there's some kind of, hey, these are exclusive to chilling only, so you probably, or I probably cannot read them on live or put them on my channel. Colorado. Good old Colorado. Definitely missed that place. Had some good times on that. I wish if I could go back to 2011 until 2011 until 2015, I would definitely take advantage of like all the outdoor stuff they had to do, and like there's just so much you can do outside, and yeah, I didn't do any of that. I was too busy going to the bars. All right, Clova. 7 Leafs. Thanks for stopping by. Well, if you got them lit stories, then send them my way. Send them over. Slide on in. Yeah, I got you. I got you, Interscare. I'll put in a word. I'll put in more than a word. I'll put in many a words. You drank root beer that, oh, you're right. You're right. I should have just went to the store, bought me a frosted mug, bought me a giant bag of animal crackers, and just sat down and watched, you know, some Veggie Tales. Yeah, I'll put in a whole paragraph for you. I got you. Like in the first, he said we're gonna have like monthly meetings or something like that, or not monthly, but maybe it was monthly. I don't remember, but something like that. And then like everybody gets on a video call or something, and I'll immediately just tell everyone, "Hey, be quiet, listen to me. I know I'm new here, but listen to me." And then I'll just go on a large tangent about why they should be hitting you up. Oh shit, horrors on Joel's live. That's awesome. Damn. That's dope. Good for him. That's awesome. I'm jealous. But he deserves it. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, just send it to my email. I think it's on, if you just go to my channel, they'll just like boozeandbooze@gmail.com. Oh, in his chat. Okay. I was like, I thought he was on his live, and I was like, I've never heard of Joel like having, yeah, he just drinking up that Joel water, doesn't he? He's fangirling. He is. He's like, he's the fan. If Joel was on a stage, horror on the rocks, he's definitely throwing his bra on stage and screaming. He's that person for sure. Dragon Tales, what? No, there will be no dragon, no tails, no crackers, no animals. Yeah, I got you, man. We definitely need to meet up soon for sure. We're close enough, so. Oh yeah, if If Joel sold bathwater, or would drink it. I might drink it too. You know, you give me a shot of Joel water, I might drink it too. Better than root beer. Hold on, I'll just type it in the chat. Booze at gmail.com. Fort Cartoon. Yeah, that's where I was stationed at, was Fort Carson. I was stationed there in the barracks. Had me my own little room. Had a nice little bed. And I never spent any time there because the barracks were awful. Yeah, I miss Fort Carson. I definitely miss the people that I met. The dudes, the bros. There's some really cool people that I miss, that I served with. You got served. Yeah, Joel's bathwater is root beer. Oh, that's quite bubbly. No, I would if you're gonna make Joel's bathwater something, make it something better than root beer. It's just like root beer is good. It is good. Like, I'm not denying that it's good, but you can't like reach for a root beer all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it tastes good. You're like, oh man, I haven't had a root beer in a really long time. That sounds good. And then you go drink a root beer and you're like, oh, I can probably go another couple of months without it. But cream soda. That cream, give me that cream soda. Yeah, I'd take that any day. Vodka, yes, give me that vodka. Yeah, that's what I'm drinking right now. Smirnoff vodka. I don't think I have. No. I don't have any more stories. I do, but I don't. I have one, but it's really long. It's too long. I don't want to do it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, definitely send those stories my way. No, you're lying. You would not reach for a root beer anytime. That's false. False. Cream soda, yes. Oh man, I actually just talking about one is making my mouth water. I want to drink one like right now. It's as Stained once said. It's been a while since I've had one of those. Yeah, I do. I have like that. I'm sorry. The story is just too damn long. I can't do it. I don't have the energy for it. Like, I'm like, you can't hear me, but I'm just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And it's going down, down, down. Fort Gordon. No, I don't even think I've heard of that. I definitely think, the worst base that I was ever on was probably Fort Polk in Louisiana, or right before I was getting out, they made me go to Death Valley to train, near, I can't even remember the name of that base over in California, but that's like the only part of California I've ever seen is Death Valley, and it was fucking awful. Corona. Corona's good too. I haven't had one in a while, but Corona is good. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think I've ever seen Joel have like somebody actually in the chat with him. Not the chat, but the live streaming, talking. I usually will try to catch some of his lives, but I'm not a frequent flyer in there. You know, normally if I'm on my computer or something, because he's a night owl, man. I'm not a late night guy. This is late for me right now. I'm usually passed out on the couch already. Ooh, root beer floats. Yes. Now that I would reach for anytime. Or like grape soda and put like vanilla ice cream. Oh, yes. Or orange soda. Mm-hmm. Y'all are making me want some of this stuff. And I don't need it. I already told you I can't be drinking my calories. So we got to stop talking about this stuff. Yeah. So, sorry I'm not reading the story. I know I've said it 60 times, but I'm not going to read it. So, probably, yeah, I'm getting old. I'm already old. I'm turning 65 next month. Fort Carson, my backyard. I live in Stratmore Valley, so very close. I've been enjoying the war games lately. Yeah. Good times. Good times. Good times. So we'll cancel that and that and that and that and that and that. And then we'll just do that. And that. Cheerio. I'm also in the process of, I guess I can probably talk about this for a minute before I hop off. So I finally made a Patreon, and so anybody that wants to become a member on the Patreon will, like, I swear to God, I've said this about the $5 tier that's on YouTube, and I have a handful of people who have given me monthly money for that. And if those of you who have done that, I appreciate that very much. I have yet to put anything in there, and it's been a couple of months now, so I'm really sorry about that. But now I'm getting to a routine down to the point where I can finally get content. A lot of that stuff might end up being fiction, but it is extra content. But I finally got a Patreon up, and so for that, if you join the Patreon, which is only going to be like $5 or $10 a month, probably more than likely will only be $5. I have a guy who's going to be the moderator for my Discord, and you will get access to. Well, you can have access to the Discord. I'm just going to keep calling it that. You will have access to the Discord, and whether you're a Patreon member or not, you'll still have access to it, and you can join in. But if you're a Patreon member, oh my God, I can't talk tonight. Membry. So Discord membry. If you're a Discord member, then you'll have access to the chat option with me on Discord. I'm also going to do like a lot of live reads over there for just Patreon members only, and you'll actually be able to be involved in that and stuff like that. And then you'll get access to exclusive content that I'm not going to put out on my regular feed. You'll get access to episodes early, like days early. And then, yeah, you can also have options to become like have roles on that Discord. So there'll be tiers of like moderator, captain, whatever they end up being. I'll have to come up with some cheeky names for people to be, if they want to take on a role within the Discord, kind of have like just our own little community type of thing over there. I'm looking forward to that and like building that up, and then hopefully, if y'all want to join and hop in on that, that's cool. If you don't, no hard feelings either way. The option will always be there. So I'm going to probably announce it at the beginning. I'm not going to put an intro in for my next episode. I'm just going to announce the Patreon and everything that comes with it on my episode for Saturday, Sunday. So yeah. So that's something to look forward to, for sure. I'm stoked for it. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be like Mr. Ballin type of thing that he has his own Discord. Obviously not that type of level, but it'll be cool. It's for me to be able to like interact with you guys more and stuff over there, and we can shoot messages back and forth, and then I'd like to even talk to those members too and be like, hey, what do you all want to hear next? Like, what's the theme that you like? What's the theme that we haven't done in a while? What do you think we should do next? Like that type of thing. On top of, yeah, like hopping in there and like just randomly, hey, I'm going to do a live read tonight for this episode for Patreon members, blah, 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 that type of thing. What is, you're almost done listening to all my videos? Holy shit, that's crazy. Because I have a lot. I mean, not a lot, but there's a lot of them. And if you're going way back into the library and listening to some of those ones from way back when I sounded like ass and my quality was doo-doo paper. No, I was just kidding. I'm not 65. I'll be turning, what month is it? July, so I'll be 34 next year. I was just being silly. Just being silly, you know. What is Joel reading over there? What's his theme? What is the theme? Diabetes in a mug. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, yes. There we go. There we go. You're older than Yoy. Vacation stories? Okay. Vacation. Yeah. He's that. I mean, again, I'm gonna fangirl a little bit more about Joel, but he's just got he's got it down, man. The live streams every other night, episodes, like to do 3 episodes per week is a lot. It's crazy. That's so much content. Like, it is crazy. Amy, your 12th birthday is coming up, right? You're gonna have a root beer animal cracker party. All right, Christian, I appreciate it. Yeah, send me those stories too, please, if you would. I'd love to read them at some point here soon. Sherry, I appreciate that. Yeah, get you a shirt, get you a mug. I think there's like I don't know. I need to revamp my merch too. I don't want to use Spreadshirt anymore. I'd like to create some more logos or designs and then have like some good, better quality stuff. Oh shit. I'm sorry, Kim. Hello. Sorry, you somehow I missed you. I get distracted easily. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of narrators out there and there's a lot of content. So if you're listening to me, I appreciate you choosing me along with many, many, many others. He also had a popping Reddit. So his story, well, no, yeah. He's always getting good submissions and stuff on Reddit, so yeah, yeah, that's yeah, I'd love to if you get that, man, let me know. I'll buy a t-shirt or a hat or something and I'll slap it somewhere in here in this room. Oh. Amy, you draw or nah? Thanks for stopping in too, Kim. Sorry I missed you earlier. Vacation stories. Oh yes. Vacation. Alright, well, yeah. I'll have to maybe I might hit you up to draw me something. Because I do need maybe some revamped art for future merch. Yeah, I haven't listened to Mr. Ballin lately. I used to be pretty hardcore, and I haven't been in the mood lately. Granted, I don't really listen to too many horror narrators anymore. I might occasionally, but it's when you do it as much as I do, which isn't even as much as a lot of other people, it's just enough to it's like, yeah, I need to get my fix of something else. But yeah. All right, y'all. I think I'm gonna call it, and I'm gonna stop rambling. And hopefully, I might do this again here in the next couple of days. And yeah, Amy, I'll let you know for sure. No jokes. All jokes aside. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go CP9 night. Go catch some ZZ Tops of myself for my own. Of yes. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just that tired right now. All right, y'all. Thank you very much to every single one of you who stopped in. And yeah, let's do this again soon. All righty. All right.